From calling former President Donald J. Trump an idiot to now becoming his vice president candidate, James David Vance, who is married to an Indian American practicing Hindu wife, is more than just an incumbent junior senator from Ohio. He is also a best selling author, a millennial with strong anti abortion views, with a consistent vote record against Ukraine, a former venture capitalist, and an election denier. Hello and welcome to The Print. My name is Keshav Padmanabhan, and in this video, I will explain who JD Vance is. The freshman senator from Ohio is married to a successful lawyer and practicing Hindu, Usha Chilukuri. Incidentally, she resigned from the firm she was working at, Munger, Tolles and Olson, after the Ohioan senator was picked as Trump's vice presidential running mate. Vance, who once called Trump an idiot and loathsome, has since become one of the former president's staunchest supporters in the Republican Party. The former venture capitalist is a freshman senator with only a little more than 2 years in the Senate. Donald Trump, on Truth Social, announcing Vance as his running mate, said, and I quote, JD has had a very successful business career in technology and finance, and now, during the campaign, will be strongly focused on the people he fought so brilliantly for, the American workers and farmers in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio, Minnesota, and far beyond. The Post highlighted the reasons for Vance's selection. A gamble that, as the vice presidential pick, he would aid in winning over the white blue-collar workers from the battleground states. The selection of the 39-year-old senator also indicated a generational change for US politics and potentially an heir apparent to Trump's own political movement, one which has molded the once center-right political party into his own image. So who really is JD Vance? Born and raised in Middletown, Ohio, Vance's mother struggled with addiction. Vance's grandmother, whom he fondly referred to as Mama, was his saving grace, according to his own personal Senate website. He finished high school in Middletown before signing up to the US Marines, where he served as a combat correspondent and was deployed to Iraq for 6 months. After a 4-year stint in the US Marine Corps, Vance graduated from Ohio State University and then studied at Yale Law School. At Yale, he met with Usha Chilukuri, who grew up in San Diego, to Indian immigrant parents. The two married in 2014. Usha has clerked with the Supreme Court Chief Justice John G. Roberts and also Justice Brett Kavanaugh before Justice Kavanaugh was appointed to the Supreme Court in the US. They are parents to 3 children. According to an interview to Fox News a few weeks ago, Usha highlighted how her parents were religious Hindus. Vance credits Usha for helping him find his faith as a Catholic, even though he was never baptized as a child. Before joining politics, Vance was known for his memoir, Hillbilly Elegy, a memoir of a family and a culture in crisis, a bestseller that the New York Times labeled as one of the 6 books that could help understand Trump's unlikely election victory in 2016. Vance had a career in finance, working with venture capitalist Peter Thiel, the co-founder of PayPal, before setting up his own firm. According to media reports, Thiel helped bankroll Vance's campaign to the US Senate in 2022. The senator has also formed a close friendship with Trump's son, Donald Trump Jr., the heir to his businesses and the eldest child of the former US president. What are Vance's political positions? Since coming into the US Senate, Vance's political positions have converged with Trump on a range of issues, from abortion to the Russia-Ukraine war. Vance had originally argued for a ban on the medical procedure of abortion with no exceptions, except if the mother's life was in danger. However, by October 2022, his position had shifted to arguing that the abortion policy was best left to the states to decide, a position that Trump also holds. In an interview with the Cincinnati Enquirer, Vance said, and I quote, "I'd like it to be primarily a state issue. Ohio is going to want to have a different abortion policy from California, from New York, and I think that's reasonable." Vance has been one of the toughest Republicans on immigration. In an advertisement that the Ohioan senator claimed to have written himself in the New York Times, He said Biden's immigration policies were killing Ohioans. Joe Biden's open border is killing Ohioans, with more illegal drugs and more Democratic voters pouring into this country. This issue is personal. I nearly lost my mother to the poison coming across our border, said Vance while directly looking at the camera. He has supported Trump's call for a border wall. In February this year, Vance voted to block a bipartisan border security deal along with most of the Republican Party in the Senate. On the Russia Ukraine war, the freshman senator publicly stated that he did not particularly care about what happened to Ukraine one way or another. In the Senate, he led the battle against Biden's $60 billion aid package of support for Ukraine, which was eventually passed. He said, and I quote, "I voted against this package in the Senate and remain opposed to virtually any proposal for the United States to continue funding this war." This was from an opinion piece in the New York Times in April 2024. Just hours after being announced as Trump's running mate, Vance on Fox News labeled China as the biggest threat to the US and that America is distracted from the real issue of China due to its support to Ukraine. His comments echo Trump's tough stand on Beijing during his presidency, which included introducing close to $200 billion in tariffs on Chinese imports. Similar to his political patron, Vance believed that the 2020 elections were stolen from Trump, raising debunked claims of technology companies working with the deep state to censor the former president's campaign. If I had been vice president, I would have told the states, like Pennsylvania, Georgia, and so many others, that we needed to have multiple slates of electors, and I think the US Congress should have fought over it from there. That is the legitimate way to deal with an election that a lot of folks, including me, think had a lot of problems in 2020. I think that's what we should have done, explained Vance in an interview with George Stephanopoulos on ABC News earlier this year. He also denies that climate change is a real threat. This is all from me today. Thank you for watching The Print. Do subscribe below for more such news and analysis.